Please pray with me. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for giving us. Thank you for the blessings you bestowed upon this club and each one of us. I thank you for our time this morning, that we can come together and recognize our first responders. I pray for the men and women that serve and protect us every single day to allow us to live our lives. Just pray that you'll continue to watch over them and bless them. Just know how much they are supported. Thank you for this club. Thank you for what it will do in this community and to give back. Just pray as this holiday season with all the events and activities going on, you will not let us forget the reason for the season. So please bless us food, nourishment, and advice. We're in prayer. Amen. Amen. Come in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, you can be seated. So a couple quick announcements before we get to our program. So as we talked about last week, Gail mentioned that the club officially turned 60 last Saturday. National sent us a document in the mail, so we will take a photo of that and get that out to everyone so you can see it as well, commemorating us on our 60 years. So that's very exciting to see that. As well, Mr. Rick Mosley, all things communication and tech, has left on your table a, what do you want to call it, scannable?
QR code.
Thank you. Perfect. Scannable. Kind of scan it with the camera, right? Anyway, so those that were here last week, we talked about a family in need at the high school that we as a club in very short order were able to provide 2 mattresses for. It's a single mom that got displaced because of fire. They are living in a kind of 1-bedroom place with nothing. So we were able to get them 2 mattresses and some pillows, and then we're going to continue to raise any excess funds to provide gift cards that she could use for food, blankets, etc. As we get the holiday season. So if you feel so inclined, that is what the QR code is for this week. That we will, any money raised will go directly to that family. So that is why that's on the table. As far as upcoming events, Mr. Boyd, Mr. Torres have been working hard for our Christmas party next Wednesday, December 15th, Royal Oaks Country Club. Should be a great time, great program, great food, fellowship. So please, I know we've pushed pretty hard on the RSVPs, and that's gone extremely well, so thank you all for that. As a reminder to bring diapers as well to the event or Family Compass. So remember next Wednesday. And then that will conclude our December 2021. We will be done officially as a club. And then we will return the 7th of January. So nothing until January 7th after our Christmas party next Wednesday. Let's see, any other, okay, I know we've got several guests for the program. Any other guest members this morning? Okay, do not see any. Anything else we have left off announcement-wise? All right, seeing none, I will turn it over to Mr. Nathan Funk for our program this morning.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're going to use 3 mics today, so bear with us here. Hopefully we don't have any feedback. But good morning, Lake Highlands. As Director of Community Service, it is my honor and privilege this morning to host the quarterly Police and Fire Awards. As an organization, you guys know that this is one of our favorite programs because it gives us the opportunity to recognize outstanding members of our community that help make it the great place that it is. With that, I would like to invite this quarter's police officer Police Officer of the Quarter, Detective Josie Hertel, and Sergeant Kristen Powell to the stage. So I'll turn it over. I'll turn it over to Sergeant Watson to introduce Detective Hertel.
Hello. Okay, so, sorry. Okay. Again, I'm Sergeant Watson. I'm with the Northeast Investigative Unit, and I've been there for like 2.5 years now, and I inherited Detective Hertel. She's a great employee. She's self-motivated, hardworking. She's been on the department for about 19 years. She's been at North Central Patrol. She's been in narcotics. She's been in the investigative unit. She's also been an adjunct driving instructor, teaching recruits how to drive fast in the squad cars, which we don't do very often anymore, but anyway, she has done that. She's a mother of 2 kids. She volunteers in her community, and she's just, like I said, she's a great employee. She does her work. She investigates everything to the fullest extent. And that's really all I had to say about her.
Awesome. So now I would like to invite this quarter's Firefighter of the Quarter, Fire Rescue Officer and Paramedic Brandon. And Captain Christian Hinojosa to the stage. Rig 2's right here. So far, we're doing okay with the mics. So now I'll turn kind of better than last time. I will turn it over to Captain Hinojosa to introduce Officer Powell.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for having us. Always an honor to participate in these community events. And whenever you say free breakfast, you're going to get a good turnout from us. I've had the honor and the privilege to work with Brandon for almost 4 years now at Station 28 over on Greenville and Royal. And at most fire stations in the city, you have a rank structure. Well, all the fire stations you do, but at most fire stations in the city, we have an additional rank. And it's not a formal rank. You're not going to see any emblems or insignias for this rank, but that's the rank known as the senior man. And the senior man has a long history in the fire service. It's the informal leader of the fire station. It's often, a non-officer. It's going to be a firefighter or perhaps even a driver. And the senior man is the guy or the gal that everybody turns to for, the day-to-day. It's who the officer knows they can rely on. It's somebody who is trusted and respected and has proven themselves time and again in that work group. And I am very fortunate to have a very strong senior man on my crew, and he's sitting to my right today. Brandon is a good friend and somebody that I have really come to rely on day to day at the fire station. But more importantly, when the bell hits, Brandon does exactly what we need our firefighters to do. He knows his job and he does his job. He's been recognized on numerous occasions for his efforts, and today the reason I nominated him for this award was due to an extremely dangerous and daring save that occurred a few blocks from here a couple months ago. Today is actually Brandon's 3rd shift back after being off for 2 months as he recovered from some pretty severe burns and an injury in the service of the community, saving a woman's life. So it gives me a great honor to be here with Brandon today.
So now for a little Q&A, Brandon, we'll go ahead and start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so I grew up in Iowa, moved down here, went to Plano East, graduated from there. After that, went back to Iowa for college, went through an automotive program, worked for a couple dealerships, wrenching on cars, and then decided I wanted to be a firefighter and do more for the community. Came back to Dallas, and luckily got hired on with Dallas in 2012, and kind of been all over the city doing that, different stations, things of that nature. What else?
Well, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but one question that someone might have would be, can you tell us a little bit about the accident or the heroics you did?
Well, so we got toned out early in the morning about, I don't know, 9:15 or so, to an apartment fire that was right at, basically right next to Station 48. We were riding short that day, so there was only 3 of us on the engine. When we pulled up, we had to make a quick save on a lady that was trapped on the 2nd floor balcony. There was heavy smoke coming from underneath her and fire out her means of egress, the door and the breezeway. So we ended up having to set a ladder, climbed up the ladder, tried to get her on the ladder, wasn't able to, had to jump on the balcony with her and got her over the ledge and down, and at that point the slider underneath her broke and flames started coming out. She got pretty burned as well. I ended up having to jump off the balcony and I ended up landing on a wrought iron fence. So luckily we had guys around me that were responding to help me get off the fence and provide care and get the bleeding stopped and taken to the hospital. So.
Definitely puts in perspective the dangers of my job. Detective Hertel, will come back to you with the same question. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everybody. So I am Detective Hertel, Josie. I've been with DPD for about 19 years now. I'm originally from Oklahoma and moved here for high school. Didn't want to, because Oklahoma's God's country. Came down here, started working when I was 15, and originally wanted to be a judge, and decided I saw the ad in the newspaper and applied and was hired 3 weeks later, and I was just almost 21. So I've been here a long time, worked in patrol. I worked in narcotics for about 13 years with the ATF task force and DEA task force, and been over here in the property crimes unit for just over 3 years. I have 2 kids, 2 little girls, they're 7 and 9. I take up all of my time outside of work. I coach their basketball teams, and I help run a nonprofit running program up there in Salina as well. That's pretty much it about me.
Nice. As a follow-up to that, what is one of the favorite things about your job?
That's a hard question. Yes, the awesome people I work with, my sergeant. Even though it doesn't give me a raise. No, it's actually whenever you do help people. A lot of times you think being a police officer, you're helping everybody, but you're taking the bad guys off the street, and that, they get upset about that. It's not, and a lot of times you don't see the good part of that. But when that arrestee does say, "Thank you for putting me in jail," because it does help them, that's the part.
And a follow-up to the follow-up. If you weren't a police officer, what would you be doing?
So I am also a personal trainer, so I love doing that. I love helping people on that side of it. Not you. She works out with me too. So, but doing that, getting people healthy so that they can live better lives.
Nice. Officer Powell, we'll come over to you now. What is one of the favorite things about the job for you?
It'd probably be getting to meet people after we have interaction with them. Like the lady from the fire, got to meet her and just have a conversation with her after the fact in the hospital. We've had a citizen that lives close to the station that we were able to perform a CPR save on a few years back too. And she comes by the station and she sends out a little girl, and it's kind of neat to see our actions have really the results of what we do.
And if you weren't a firefighter or a paramedic, what would you be doing?
Probably still a mechanic. Yeah, working on cars, having fun.
You got a favorite car in mind?
I have a Bronco right now I'm redoing. So
What do you think of the new Broncos?
I like them. I haven't got to drive one yet, but it'd be interesting to see the difference.
They look cool. So now for a little fun question. Is there an animal you wouldn't save from a burning tree and why?
Probably a snake. I'm not a big snake.
I've heard snake gumbo's pretty good though.
There you go. It'll be already cooked when it's done.
And Detective Hertel will come to you now for a question. This is a fun question, but what is the best place, or where is the best place in Dallas to get a donut?
I don't eat donuts. But I do love a cupcake.
See me after all.
Okay, so if y'all want small cakes, that is the best place. If y'all go there, talk to Michelle, she is the best. She owns the place right over here at Northwest Highway and Abrams. It is great, and they're good, and she's awesome.
Noted. Detective Hertel, do you have what is one of the craziest stories that you could share with us from your time on the force?
That's really a hard question. I don't have anything as cool as what they do. I haven't got to save anybody. I don't get to shoot anybody. Anything like that. But I don't know. I have been shot at a few times. That's kind of crazy. But there's not a whole lot that's just been totally just outlandish that I can really recall.
So, Officer Powell, come to you with that same question. Outside of the story you told a few minutes ago, what's another crazy story you've had with your time?
I guess we had a fire a few years back in December over off Esperanza that we got up to the 3rd floor and there was a pretty good fire kind of all around us. We're on the breezeway fighting it, and we turn around and look, and luckily the breezeway's all concrete, but pretty much behind us, below us, and above us was all fire. And luckily, we just happened to be on that breezeway, but it was just one of those moments where you kind of look around and you're like, wow, we're kind of in it. So that was fun.
And you're here to tell the story.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've done these for quite a while, and there's kind of a running joke about firefighters liking to play video games. Don't know if you're a big video game player, but assuming you are, if you can only play one video game, what would it be?
Not a huge video gamer, but I guess probably like Mario Kart. 64. Yeah. The throwbacks.
Is that a popular game at the department?
No, everybody's kind of into PlayStations and the new stuff, but we don't do too much at my station. But some stations are really into the new video game systems. I kind of like the old school stuff.
I'm not a gamer either, but I know a lot of young kids make a lot of money playing games these days.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Detective Hertel, will come back to you for a question here. So, obviously, the fire department is known for being good cooks. If you won a raffle and you got to have the firefighters cook one meal for the department, what would you pick and why?
I believe I would probably have a steak dinner where everybody got to have their own steak prepared the way they wanted it prepared, with whatever size they wanted.
Okay. Come on back.
So, we'll stay with you, Detective Hertel. I feel like between the fire and the police, you guys are known for being pranksters. prank that someone maybe has pulled on a fellow colleague in the office?
There's been quite a few.
No name.
Some of it I can't talk about. I guess probably one of the better ones was when they did saran wrap the car around it and then put baby powder in the vents. So once they did get in the car, they turn the car on and it just goes poof. All over that nice, pretty uniform.
How did that go over?
Not well.
Officer Powell, same question.
It'd probably be, when we get new rookies out there, we always warn them not to have their phone on them. And we like to douse them with water every chance we get. So even a bright sunny day, we'll be outside doing something, working on an apparatus, and then all of a sudden a big bucket of water will come from the roof. Straight down on them. It's pretty great to see their reaction.
So how many phones have been lost because of that?
A handful, yeah.
Awesome. Now, kind of back to a serious question, and we'll kind of wrap up with you, Officer Powell. So how can we as an organization continue to help the department?
Honestly, events like this are just, they're big morale boosters, and it really, it lets us know that people in the community, appreciate what we do, and we don't always get the thanks as well as the police. They don't always get the thanks that they deserve for what they do. And it's kind of nice to see things like this and just get back to us.
Awesome. And Detective Fertel, same question. How can we continue to help support the police?
I'd have to agree because, police in the United States right now are not typically viewed as the best, but seeing people here today and supporting us is probably the best way.
So with that, we'll do a little presentation now. And I did remember to take them out of the box this time. So we'll start with this quarter's Firefighter of the Quarter, Officer Brandon Powell. This quarter's Police Officer of the Quarter, Detective Fertel. So you guys will stick around for pictures. We'll take a few in just a minute, but with that, Robert, I'll turn back over to you.
Well, thank you, Nathan. Congratulations to you all. Thrilled that you're here, and we do get the opportunity to recognize you all. So I know it can't be said enough to thank you all for what you do. Every single day, we wake up without a worry because y'all are around. So thank y'all. Let's see. Yes, so we will do some photos afterwards, so please stick around. Holiday party next Wednesday. Look forward to seeing you all there. Any other announcements I have left off? All right, y'all have a great rest of your week. See you next week. We're adjourned.